day 7 of the 12 Days of Christmas films, and I'm going to kind of, in a way, backtrack a little bit in terms of the film choice that I've gone for today. But I want you to break up a little bit with things in the middle of these choices, and you'll see why. Because I'm going to go for Nativity 2. Um, and you'd be right in saying to me, Amy, Nativity 2 is not a patch on Nativity. You'd be more than correct in saying that. However, what I would say about that is, yes, it's not a classic like Nativity, if you will, but Nativity is absolutely fantastic. So if it's not quite as good as that, it's still pretty decent, and it still has a lot of the things that Nativity has. And yeah, Nativity 2, give it a go if you haven't already seen it. I mean, I'm not mad Nativity 3 is not on this list. Jesus, give me strength. But yeah, Nativity 2 is definitely something that you should investigate. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it's not the most highbrow Christmas film in the world. Let's be fair, it's not Scrooge. Um, yeah, it's not. But what it is a bit of enjoyment and a little bit of recall back to Nativity with some of the ingredients that worked. So Mr. Poppy's still present. Still not been played by Simon Lipkin yet, so that's something that's kind of slightly negative against it, because I'm gonna be radical. I prefer Simon Lipkin. What I'm gonna do is a West End star. Yeah. So yeah, no Simon Lipkin, but Mr. Poppy is back. There is no Mr. Maddens. Mr. Maddens is gone. He's with Jennifer. He's happy. We've done his story arc. We've ticked that box. Yeah, but what you do have is a new teacher in the form of David Tennant. And David Tennant has moved with his heavily pregnant wife, who is played by Joanna Page, and he has taken over Mr. Madden's class. And this Christmas, the thing that they are aiming for is a competition in Wales called Song for Christmas, where schools and choirs and groups will write a song for Christmas and perform it, and the winner wins a prize, a chance to have a recording contract with a release date that'll give them a pop at Christmas #1, which obviously is a big deal. Christmas #1 is probably the only like #1 through the year that I know what it is. So yeah, big deal there. David Tennant plays dual roles. He plays himself and his snobbish twin. His twin is a really big, famous conductor of a choir. He is like really, really renowned in musical circles. And in terms of the father's eyes, the good David Tennant is a bit of a non-entity, because he's just a primary school teacher. He doesn't really get that. So yeah, the school doesn't want this class to enter Song for Christmas. It's a bit like, well, what's the point? Don't really want to go to Wales. We've got more important things to do. Let's not muck about writing a song. But Mr. Poppy manages to persuade him that the right thing to do is to kind of get a little bus and beggar off to Wales and just pretend that the class are in class, not say anything, just take them off, enter Song for Christmas, and then come back, which is all well and good. Well, it's not well and good, but it's a theory. And off they go. Half the class goes to Song for Christmas with them, and to be honest, it's kind of the younger ones of the class that they take with them, and some new members, because some of the older ones look a bit beyond primary school age, so you've got to suspend your disbelief very slightly there. Yeah, they go off to Wales. They've written this song, and they potter off, and they're up against the Evil Brothers choir. They're up against Gordon Shakespeare and Oakmoor School, because why wouldn't they be? They're just a rivalry. And they have a right kerfuffle getting there. Gordon Shakespeare changes the direction signs so they get lost. They end up going missing. Mrs. Bevan barrels on down to Wales to go find them because she's worried. They've kidnapped a baby because it's a pivotal part of their song to have a baby to represent Jesus. Then the heavily pregnant wife goes after them because she's worried she can't get hold of David Tennant. And yeah, they go off to this Welsh castle where various groups and schools perform various songs, all of which are very, very catchy. There's one that's a bit of a Justin Bieber wannabe. There's the Evil Brothers Choir were very, very serious, but they've robbed part of the song from Gordon Shakespeare. So suddenly he's on St Bernadette's side because he wants revenge on them, just like he does. He's not very happy about having his song idea ripped off, so they decide to join forces and take him down, basically. St Bernadette's get banned from competing because they're late to turn up, which obviously they're not best pleased about. They've got a brilliant song, but it's Oakmore's turn next, so Gordon says, you have our turn, your song's brilliant, take him down. You just have it and have your revenge. You can have that on me. So they go on, perform this brilliant song in a snow globe, and they do really, really well. And then David Tennant's dad says, I'm so ashamed, what was that? Your brother did a really great choral arrangement and you just mucked about on stage dressed as a star with a load of kids, even though everyone in the audience is having a whale of a time and singing along. And the kids that didn't originally come have come with Mrs. Bevan, and they get up and start singing, and yeah, the St Benedict's basically do 2 songs, which is a bit of a cheat, but we'll let them off. And yeah, the father's like, what was that? That was an embarrassment. Why can't you ever be serious? And David Tennant's like, it's Christmas, we're having fun. Is that not the most important thing? Everyone's having a good time. These guys are all my family now. They support me. I don't need you to not support me. I've got everything I need. We've had a whale of a time, and I'm happy enough at that. I don't need anything else. What you expect of me is a bit of a much. And then, yeah, they start pottering off to go back home, and Joanna Page goes into labour. And of course, they manage to find a barn for her to give birth into. And they have twins, just like David Tennant and his brother. And then they reconcile because the brother comes and he's like, this was us once upon a time. We probably should make more of an effort to be friends and be civil and get on. But even though we're very, very different, maybe these kids will be different one day, but that's fine, kind of thing. And then they all sing another song. And yeah, the songs are catchy. They're not, it's no sparkle and shine, don't get me wrong, but there are some good songs like Born in the Hay was really, really good. That kind of gets your toes tapping and whatnot. It's not as good as Nativity, I won't lie. I can't tell a fib. Don't go around expecting it to be one of those films that just gets better and better the more the series goes on, because it's not. But actually it has a lot of the same ingredients. There's a bit of rivalry and jeopardy and peril and songs and kids dancing around, and it's all very much in that ilk, Do I prefer David Tennant to Martin Freeman? No, I'm not mad. Martin Freeman does a particularly good line in Exasperation, which, as much as I love David Tennant, don't think he really gets up to, but, whatever. It's great, and you will again be singing some of the songs for a good couple of days afterwards. And, get Pam Ferris barreling about being Mrs. Bevan again, which is really only something that you can love. So yeah, another earworm for you to get stuck in your head for a couple of days. Don't blame me when it's in there. Just roll with it. Enjoy it.